everyone and welcome to a new video. This video is going to be my January readathons wrap up. In January I took part in two readathons, 24 and 48. That was a readathon in which you were supposed to read for 24 hours out of the 48 hours of the weekend, and I did not even get close. And the second readathon was the RYBSAT round 7, which is read your bookshelf-a-thon. Yeah. You're supposed to pick from a place in your bookshelf and from your TBR shelf and just read from then on. I don't have a TBR shelf normally. I just like to keep all my books and then I take them out when I want to read them. But what I do is I like to stack them up in piles and according to what I want to read in the future, put them on the bedstand. So I had a pile there that had been accumulating since about October, so I started reading from that one. I read 5 books in total. The first book that I read for the 24 and 48 readathon is a psychological thriller. I read Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson, who is a guy, by the way. I thought that the writer was a woman for the whole time I was reading the book. This is a psychological thriller that came out in 2011 and it is S.J. Watson's debut novel, and this is a British novel. Since 2011, this book has been a bestseller, has won 5 literary awards, and has been translated in over 40 languages, and also has been made into a movie last year starring Nicole Kidman and Colin Firth. And since I mentioned that, I'm just going to show you the cover because I really love it. This is the only movie cover edition that I've actually liked. I really hate movie covers editions, but this one really works. So what the book is essentially about is a woman by the name of Christine Lucas who is an amnesiac. She is unable to recall past memories and she's also unable to form new memories. So essentially she just has no idea who she is, and every morning she has to be reminded by her husband Ben that she is married, she's 47, and she has suffered an accident, a head trauma, and that has led to her being an amnesiac. I don't want to give away much more because it's just going to take away from the fun of the book, but this is a real page turner. It is a really well crafted thriller. The suspense was really well built and I really enjoyed it. For RYBSAT, I read 4 books. I started off with The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian by Sherman, Alexie, which is a young adult semi-autobiographical novel that came out in 2007. The book is essentially a coming-of-age story that follows Arnold Spirit Jr., who is a Native American born and raised on the Spokane Indian Reservation near Wilpinit in Washington. It is his story as he's trying to break free of his environment pretty much and try to attend an all-white school in Riordan, which is the city next to the reservation, and pretty much everything he has to deal with on an everyday life basis. I really love this book. This novel made me laugh and cry and occasionally laugh and tear up at the same time. Junior's voice was so funny, and the fact that he was pretty much making fun of how unfortunate things were for him was really reminding me a lot of Romanian humor. Also, I really love the illustrations in the book. The book is illustrated by Ellen Forney. Because of the themes of this novel, like bullying and alcoholism and racism and some occasional sexual references like masturbation, this book has been banned from school libraries and school curricula, and to me that is just ridiculous. This was a wonderful novel. Apparently this is going to be made into a film, so that's pretty exciting. Next up, I read another book from the US, and that was Horrorstör by Grady Hendrix and illustrated by Michael Rogalski, and that's very important for me because this book's strongest point were the illustrations and the design and the layout. This is a horror comedy novel. This is designed to look like an IKEA catalog. The book is actually about a furniture chain store that is not IKEA, it's called Orsk, and it's supposed to be, in the book, it's supposed to be the American response to IKEA. I was really able to laugh at this novel a lot for the humor and the critique of like the furniture stores. The plot itself was not the greatest plot. In this furniture store called Orsk, very strange things start to happen. And in the morning when employees come to open the store, it looks like people might be breaking in overnight. There's furniture that's destroyed. There's a lot of dirty things left behind. So a group of employees decide to stay overnight and see what is going on. I enjoyed reading it. The plot was pretty predictable, but I did really enjoy the humor of this novel, and I really loved the design. Like, it's not only designed on the cover, but it has all the furniture descriptions. The inside has the whole map of the store, and for that reason I really liked it. But as a horror novel, it's not really scary, so I wouldn't really recommend it as a horror novel. But just for the humor of it, like a horror comedy, it would be cool to pick up. After that, I read a really tiny book called Kinderland by Liliana Corobca, and I was really excited because I thought this was a Romanian book. And silly me, this is actually from Moldova, which is a country next to Romania, and they also speak Romanian there. But I really thought that this was a Romanian book set in Romania, but it wasn't. The reason I thought it was set in Romania was because of the plot and because it is a very relevant theme to pretty much all the countries in Eastern Europe, so I really thought that it was Romanian since the name strikes as Romanian. The story follows 3 siblings, the oldest one being a girl of 12 and with 2 younger brothers, one that is 7 and the other one is 3. All 3 siblings are left behind in a village in Moldova by their parents who immigrate to work abroad. Their father goes to Russia and their mother goes to Italy to find jobs, to be able to send money back home for the kids to be able to have a decent life. And this is a very relevant theme for Romania and I guess Moldova and a lot of Eastern European countries, the migration of parents and the children left behind. While I was working in Romania with children in orphanages, I actually met a lot of kids whose parents were working abroad, and it was really heartbreaking to see those kids mature so early and kind of try to grasp that their parents are there to make a better life for them, but at the same time not really understanding how a better life for them is being far away from their parents. And this book really captures that very well. This book is written in the voice of Cristina, who is the 12-year-old girl, and it is written as a sort of a letter to her mother, as just pretty much detailing how hard it is for them, but how much they're trying to not miss their parents. And it was really heartbreaking to read that. Sadly, there is no English translation of this book. This book was originally written in Romanian and I did read it in Romanian, but there is a German translation, so for those of you who are interested and speak German, I think there's a Kindle copy available and there's also a hardcover copy in German on Amazon. So I'm gonna link that down below for anyone who's interested. And last, for the readathon, I decided to end it the same way I started it, and I picked up another psychological thriller, and I read The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins because I wanted to know what the whole hype was about. I don't think I mentioned this, but both this and Before I Go to Sleep were on Claire's from the Book Box's favorite books of 2015. I'm gonna leave her video down below because pretty much, even though I heard about these books before, that video kind of really prompted me to just go and read them once and for all. And I'm really happy that I read this one as well. This is another psychological thriller, another one from the UK. This book is told in 3 voices, 3 female voices, but the main character, I guess, is Rachel, who is a London commuter. She commutes from Ashbury to London every day, morning and evening, and on her ride on the train, she looks out the window and the train always stops at this one particular signal. There's a couple living and she starts kind of fantasizing about what their life is, giving them names, and then she sees something out the window that kind of changes what she thinks and she tries to get more involved with it. It feels really hard to tell what this book is about without giving away things that would make it suspenseful. So I'm gonna try not to say too much more, but I'm gonna say I really enjoyed this book as well. What I really liked about this book is that most of the characters in this book are really flawed, and that just makes them believable. Like, people are like that. They make mistakes, they have bad thoughts. Everyone is kind of struggling with their inner thoughts, and I really liked that about this book. And for me, it was a page turner, and I really enjoyed it. I think it is a solid thriller, and I'm really looking forward to the movie. I found out that the movie is coming out in October, and it's starring Emily Blunt as Rachel, which is something I really have a hard time seeing. That was pretty much all I read in these 2 readathons. Let me know down below if you've read these books, if you want to read these books, what you think about them. Let me know if you took part in these readathons. Let me know what you read for the readathons. Also, let me know if you would like me to do a more in-depth review for any of these books. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you back soon with another video. Have a great day. Bye.